Hey guys, MD Prepper here, part 12.5 of our 72-hour Dollar Tree survival kit. We're talking about food. Now I think food is the lowest thing on our list for prepping. Unless you're diabetic or something, you can go 3 days without food. You're going to be hungry, and that's not pleasant. So you don't have to have any of the stuff in this kit, but I would certainly recommend some food. Just something to give you energy boost if you need it. Now a lot of you are going to complain about my food options that I talk about here, for various taste and health reasons, as well as the caloric intake. You're going to say it's not enough. Well, in a 72-hour situation, you need to try to be preserving calories. You don't need to be hiking and moving all the time. If you think you're going to do that in your situation, yeah, maybe you need some more calories in your pack and all that. We'll talk about that. That's fine. Do what you want to do. But let's talk about basic food prep first before we actually talk about options. Now, let me go ahead and say I think that all of the options we're going to use, everything should be pre-prepared. You don't need anything you're going to have to cook. Yes, rice is cheap. Yes, rice is a wonderful prepping survival food, but not on the move, not on a 72-hour kit. I don't want to have to sit there and boil my rice if I don't have to. Yes, rice is great, oats, grits, whatever. Those things are wonderful, a lot of calories, etc. It's not what you want. You want something you can eat right then. You don't want to be on the trail and all you've got is food that you need to prepare. I don't want any food I need to prepare in a 72-hour kit. If you want to do that, that's your business. First thing I would definitely recommend packing is ramen noodles. You say I don't like them. Well, too bad. They're cheap, effective, various flavors. Pick whichever one you want. These things can be eaten raw, which is exactly what I would do with them. Take the pack, crunch it up, pop it open, eat it. Eat it on the trail, whatnot. Good to go to keep you going. It's all right. You say it's fat and simple carbs. Well, it's better than nothing. Ramen noodles got me through a lot of tight spots over the years in college and med school and all that type of stuff. It's cheap. It's lightweight. It's not really going to spoil on you. And even if it does get past expiration dates, it may just be a little bit stale, but who cares? I'll still eat it. Now, I prefer them cooked up and hot and all that, but I'll keep them in the raw form. That's fine. What I would recommend, keep enough of these around. How many you want, whatever. I would say 6 of them. 6 packets. Whatever flavors you want, mix and match. I don't care. Here I've got the beef and the shrimp shown. I prefer the beef personally. Chicken's okay. I like the beef better with the flavor packet. Now raw, they're all going to be the same. That's fine. What you need to do, keep them in a plastic Ziploc bag. Keep 2 of them in a Ziploc bag. Even if they get crushed up, even if you pop the bag open, when you set the bag down and you take a fall, something like that, hopefully it's still going to be contained in the little plastic Ziploc bag. We got lots of Ziploc bags. Hey, I like having lots of storage. They don't take any weight. You can fit 2 packs per plastic bag here, at least in this size. I think that's good. What I would probably do is once I start using one of these, if I'm munching on the trail, take one of the plastic bags, put one of these in a plastic bag, roll it up, seal it up, and keep it in your back pocket or pocket of your cargo pants, something like that, so you can pull it out as you need to. Open the container. Again, I like these little slide locks because they're quick and easy. You don't have to worry about it being properly sealed. And much as you want. You end up with a bunch thrown in here, at the bottom of it. Well, you can always dump those out and eat them. At the end of the day, you can always use the ramen noodles and heat them up in our little loaf pan here to cook them up. I think that's going to be a good option. In a stressful situation, it's cold out, whatever, hot food's a good thing. Even if you don't have to have it, especially if you do have to have it, it's real cold out, you're going to want to increase your core body temp. Add some temperature, add some hot food. Boil some water in this, put your ramen noodles in it, and good to go. We also are going to include a very large spoon here, which is going to be good for all our cooking purposes. The vertical blades we talked about, we don't need a fork necessarily. You can mix it, do whatever you need to do. With the ramen noodles, even if you just eat one of these packs raw, do not throw out the flavor packet. Even if you don't like it, keep the flavor packets, store them. Because at the end of the day, you can make a little beef broth out of this with whatever type of food you've got, or just eat the beef broth, or just throw in what little bit of crumbles you've got in this to give you something a little warm in the evening or in the morning, something like that, just to warm you up. Just nice, I think, better than just drinking hot water that you boiled up. And again, salt is a good thing. You say, where are my salt shakers, my salt packets, all that? I don't have any. I'm not going to use them. Don't need them. Got all the salt I need here. If I'm having muscle cramp, something like that, if I'm exerting myself, you're going to need to replace salt, sodium. If you're sweating, all that, you got to replace sodium. Could I carry a shaker full of salt, something like that, a grinder, something like that for a buck at Dollar Tree? Yeah, they got them. Nah. You've already got your salt. If you want to, you can put the salt or the flavor seasoning in this pack. Once you crunch it up, close it up, shake it up some more, and munch on it, and you're going to get some salt out of it. I would not throw away the bag at that point, because in the evening I'm going to open this thing up and dump whatever little particulate of the packet I've got in my little loaf pan here, and make a basic little broth. Get every little bit of salt you can. You say these things are full of salt? Well, that's a good thing in a survival situation. You don't want your muscles cramping up on you. That's a bad thing. So, that's a good thing there. Overall, ramen noodles. I'm going to carry about 6 packs. That's 190 calories or so per block. Well, per half a block. So double that up. That's roughly 400 calories, a little less than that. That's going to be pretty good. Now, what else I would take? These little peanut packs or something like that. Trail mix, energy bars, granola bars, just anything like they've got. Just whatever you like. You can get 5 of these for a buck at my local Dollar Tree. They're 200 calories per little pack. That's 1,000 calories right there. Add this with 6 of the blocks of ramen noodles. That's about 1,100 calories, a little less than that per day overall that you're going to get. If you divide that out over 3 days, you say, well, that's not enough. I need 2,000 calories a day. Most of us have plenty of fat. We can burn that. That's okay. Add a small jar of peanut butter, and you're pushing 1,500 to 1,700 calories a day. That is more than enough. Okay, you got your peanut butter, you got your spoon. Peanut butter and a spoon, good to go. So that's it as far as that goes. Let me store some of this out of the way here for a second. One other thing I'm definitely going to keep, it's not absolutely necessary, but darn it, I just like it. I like that I found it. These little cooking racks. 2 of them for $1. They're flimsy, they're lightweight, but it will provide a decent cooking surface. If I raise this over a fire, I can put some logs or some rocks or something in all the corners to raise this as much as I want. If I happen to have other food with me, if I decided to carry out some cans of ravioli or some potted meat or just whatever the heck I've got, a can of Spam, whatever you got, you can cook it on this. Now, obviously, I'd recommend putting it in our loaf pan, preferably with some water, so that anything that happens to drain off it, any oils, any fats, anything like that, is going to end up in the water and make a broth that you can drink afterwards. I would not put meat or Spam, slices or anything like that, treat or whatever you've got on this directly, because that's just going to drip down into the fire. Wasted nutrients. If you don't want to waste your loaf pan, or let's say we're boiling water on our loaf pan here while we're cooking something over, or we want to cook something over here. We don't want to wait. We want to do multiple things at once. That's fine. What we do, take our aluminum foil, and then we're not going to carry this whole thing, but we're going to have a few folded up pieces of this. Fold it out here. Make a little pan, if you will. Fold up the edges and all that, and put your slices of Spam on the inside so that the grease and the oil doesn't roll out. Drink that if you got to. Pick it up and put it over something, Don't waste any calories that you've got in your pack. So the aluminum foil can be used as a water bowl, a little cooking surface, stuff like that, so that you don't waste fats and stuff dripping down below. You catch a fish or something, I'd say boil it in the big loaf pan, but if you're doing other stuff like needing purified water and you don't have a whole lot of wood, well, make a little bowl out of this, make a little pan, put your fish in that on top of this, and cook it. Any kind of oils that come off, drink them. Fat, something like that. You need those calories. Take every bit you need. A little big, a little bulky, but I think with the rest of the stuff in our kit, I don't think this is going to be a problem overall. I just like this for insurance purposes. I think this is a nice option if I need it. Again, it's thin, but it's kind of large. But there's 2 of them. 2 doesn't take any more space or hardly any other weight than 1, so we're taking both those guys. Talked about our Ziploc bags for containing whatever we've got, granola bars or something like that. You say, well, what if I've got my little pan there, my loaf pan, it gets hot? Well, got little ShamWows. Use those or the bandana as a pot holder, something like that. Of course, you can use this if you happen to spill something when you're cooking. You drop over your water bottle inside your tent. You can soak up stuff with that. We'll talk about that in a minute. And final kit. This one here, right here, our little canister. We've talked about a lot. This, is going to be our dry storage. Well, you can use this as a cup, okay? You've got your bottles, but you got other options. What if you made a broth out of your loaf pan? And yeah, you could sit there out of a loaf pan with a spoon and suck it out of there. Slowly pull it out with a spoon. You know what? Once it's semi-cool, I'm going to dump it into this drink out of this as I need to, or if I've got ramen noodles in here, pull them out with a spoon while I'm boiling purifying water with the loaf pan. Don't take up the loaf pan over fire with nothing in it to eat out of if you don't have to. So I think this is useful. Another thing you may want to add to the kit, more of a comfort food, not necessarily, well, not even really a food, not necessarily something you have to have, but it's lightweight and I like it. Tea. This is Dollar Tree tea. $1 for green tea. It's a whole lot of packets. I don't remember how many packs are in this offhand. Let me look real quick. Net weight's 3.5 ounces. I have drunk out of this. It's 100 bags. Lots and lots of green tea. If you don't like green tea, oh well. It's got antioxidants in it. Not that I care in a bug out situation, but it's got caffeine in it. You know, give you that little boost. In the morning before I get going, if I had to, boil some water in the pan. And probably what I would do once it was boiling, when it was purified, I'd probably dump it into this. Not all of it, but a little bit, down here somewhere like that. Put a tea bag in there, let it diffuse out, and drink if you need to. You could pull it out with a spoon if you had to out of your loaf pan. A little caffeine, lightweight. I'd probably throw in 4 or 6 packs of this. Again, put it in a Ziploc bag along with ramen noodles, all that. Tea's got a lot of good things in it. Caffeine would be the big one, and again, in a stressful situation in the evening, you're sitting around by the fire, this would be nice to have. Not necessary, but nice to have. Now, as I said before, all your food options are going to be very, very personal, what you like, what you don't. Dollar Tree's got a fair amount of stuff. They've even got small, little packets of tortillas. I wouldn't get those because they're not going to store very long. You're not going to rotate your kit that much. You're probably not going to think about it. You want stuff that's going to last. Some tea bags, some ramen noodles, and some peanut butter, and those little packets of either peanuts or granola bars, energy bars, something like that. That's going to be good enough. I'd say 1,000 calories per person should be enough, especially if you're trying to conserve energy. Shoot for 1,500, something like that, if you think you're going to be on the move, on the hike, something like that. That should be enough, generally. Again, you get a high metabolism or you're a really big person. You need more? Maybe you do. That's personal. Do whatever you want. I'm not going to go for the full 2,000 calories per person per day because I got enough body fat on me. Let me burn some of that. That's fine. Won't kill me. As long as I have enough to keep my stomach full and get some energy boost with some of the little snacks I've got with me, the peanuts or whatnot, you're good to go. Again, a little jar of peanut butter is going to go a long way. So, food options, highly variable. So, we're not going to carry a whole lot, but enough. Again, I'm going to shoot for about 1,100 to 1,500 calories per day in my total kit for 3 days. It's going to be fairly lightweight, mostly ramen noodles. Indie Prepper, out.